Hey everyone, today I'm going to review a cool little app called LetSlotio. And what LetSlotio does is it allows you to kind of gamify your lead generation. Okay, and what you can do is create, and I'll pull this up here, one of these cool little casino type spinners that are going to allow you to, number one, collect emails, so lead generation, as well as offer free gifts, coupons, or whatever you want to offer there with this cool little kind of casino based spinner, okay, like a little slot machine. All right. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and close that down, and I'm just going to kind of walk you through some of these the settings here. I will do my best to point out what is not included on the basic version. Right now I'm kind of using the Mac Daddy version, so I'll do my best to tell you kind of what is included in that basic version as we walk through this, okay? So just taking a look here on our dashboard just gives us a nice little snapshot of our statistics over the past 30 days. Now, of course, I don't have many here. I've just set up my account here today. So you can get a nice little snapshot right there on your dashboard. We'll get to campaigns here at the end, but they also have a library. So as you begin to upload your assets, backgrounds, and whatnot, videos, images, or excuse me, it's just images, you'll be able to kind of take care of all that stuff and manage it right here. You can also connect your using account if you have one here, and you can use all your images that you've created from there. They also have their lead section. Now, this is where all your lead capture is going to go by default, okay? And you can, of course, export all that with the CSV and upload it to wherever you want to. Or they have a bunch of different integrations, okay? So these are all the email integrations that they have as of right now. I'm sure as they grow that they will add more. You can also have webinar, so go to webinar and EverWebinar integrations. Shopify. You can also connect your Shopify store to this, which is pretty cool, and a place for your Google Analytics to go. And what they also have is full contact. I believe that this integration is only available, I think, in one of the upsells. So just make sure you keep your eye on that. But all the rest, I believe, are included on the front end. But you have Zapier. And again, like I said, using Buffer and, of course, Segmate app, which is a bot marketing platform. Now, what we also have here is you have the ability to use white label domains, and I'll show you where that would come into play, but I believe that this is one of the upsells. Okay, so this does not come standard with the basic account. Same with the users. You're allowed to invite, kind of your VAs into here or people that you can collaborate with to get your stuff set up. That is also included in one of the upsells. Now, what they also have is, and this is all with the basic version, is of course your little piece of code you're going to put on your site to make these pop-ups appear. But there's also a WordPress plugin that comes with the basic version. Okay, so it's pretty full, right? Shopify, WordPress, all integrated. It's pretty simple to use. So let's just jump right in and go ahead. I've created. There's two types of campaigns. They have what they call a slot campaign, which is kind of that thing I showed you in the beginning, the standard pop-up. And there's these overlay campaigns. Now, I'm going to just start with slot campaigns first, and I'll show you what overlay campaigns are, okay? So I have my first one here, and I'm just going to go ahead and edit it, and we're going to walk through each and how I set this up. So here's kind of what it looks like now. Give your campaign a name. There's different campaign types. There's the lander and the lander mats. Now, a lander is going to allow you to basically display your pop-up on any domain. Okay, no matter whose it is, you can have your lander pop up on that particular domain. Now, lander mats is actually a full page takeover. Not just the pop-up modal, but it's the full page takeover. Now, this is an upsell, okay? So the basic comes with the pop-up version, and then one of the upgrades has the ability to use these two as well. But I'll show you what these are here at the end as well. So for now, we're going to concentrate just on that standard pop-up. All right, so let's just kind of walk through some of the settings here. You can position it where you want it to show up when it pops up left, right, center. You can, of course, modify all of the colors and the color schemes here. Now I did just this here. It's kind of ugly, but you guys can use your own design skills to make yours look much better. But you're allowed to put background images or colors, so you'll have the option of doing both. Obviously, change up your titles, your description, which shows up right here. And you'll have the ability to add input fields for your form. So you can add as many as you want right here, and there's different types I'll show you here. There's the text, the email, a URL, or a dropdown. So those are the type of fields that you can set up here. You can also choose to enable your policy, which is probably a smart idea, especially with the GDPR things that just rolled in a few weeks ago. But you can go ahead and set those up, set your policy links here, change your text up, and have those display here as well. And of course, you can make them required or not. Excuse me, this is always required. If this is ticked, I believe it is always required. Now you can also change your button action right here, your text for that, as well as the color scheme. You can also add a nice little disclaimer if you'd like to underneath to make everybody kind of feel it just builds trust, right? You just want to make sure that you're telling them that you're not going to spam them and that you're what you're using this email collection for. Now we can change up our fonts. Okay, so we've got a bunch of different fonts in there, a bunch of different animations on how the pop-up can come in. We can add these little snow effects here as well. You can kind of see it's kind of snowing in there. You can also enable a spinning sound. Okay, so it has that kind of casino sound to it as well if you choose to. Now, next we have conversion elements, and you don't have to use a conversion element. You can just set it to no element, but there's countdown timers and scarcity bars. So as you'll see, I have a countdown timer right here. Okay, so we have a few things that we can edit with that. We can obviously edit the text that's going to show up here, the timer duration, so how long we want that timer to be on, as well as the fonts. Okay. Now next we have the actual slots. Okay, so this is the actual giveaways that you're going to use. Okay, so the options are you can do a coupon, a free product, or no prize at all, okay? And what you're going to do is set up, it has to be a minimum of 5, and you're going to set these up for a probability, okay? The probability of them winning or landing on this particular one here, I have set for 10%. As you'll see, actually, I have them 10% for this one, 10% here, 5% down here, and then 65% of not winning. So you can set those things, accordingly. Now you're also going to be able to go ahead and set some win data up. So like when they actually win, it's going to come up with the title of $10 coupon. Use this coupon at checkout. Claim now for the button when they click the button after a win. And then there's some actions here that you can set. You can have it close the pop-up. When they click this button, you can copy the value of the coupon and close the pop-up. You can copy the coupon code and redirect them to a different URL, which comes in handy for the lander campaign types. You can just simply redirect them to a new URL, and then you can have them redirect to a URL in a new tab, which actually is probably a pretty smart idea. If they forget to copy that coupon code, then at least that tab is still open for them to grab it. But you'll be able to set that for each of these depending on which one they land on, okay? So that's basically how you're giving away all these prizes and how you're doing the actual email collection, right? When they click that spin now button, that's when the collection is going to happen. Now we have, up here actually, it says you can even use images in place of the actual labels, okay, if you choose to. Now we have some additional settings here, and I believe these two here are an upgrade feature, but you can actually have them win on multiple spins. So you can allow them to spin more than just one time. You can set it to really whatever you want, and of course add that spin text to it as well, and the spin count. So whatever count you have, you can add in there as well. Now, what you can do is you can say winner will win on set at some spin, whether it's the third spin, the fourth spin, the second spin, however you wanted to do it, you can set that up right here. And you can actually offer more spins if a social share occurs. Okay, so you can have them you can have them gain 2 more spins if they share socially, and of course you'll set all that information up right here if you want to enable that feature. And you'll be able to customize these titles basically that come up. If you have multiple spins, it can say, oops, try rolling again, spin again text. There's the social share text and the post share text. All right, so you can set all that stuff up if you choose to. Again, I believe that is part of the upgrade. Now, the other thing that they have here is you can have these enticing follow-up widget on direct close or no thanks. So if they close it, you can actually have a little pop-up bar, and I'll show you that here, that displays, to tell them, hey, wait, don't miss a big chance, for big savings. And you can position that either the top or the bottom, depending on which type you choose. There's a ribbon, chiclet, or the hello bar. You can change the text, and I'll show you what that looks like when we actually take this thing for a spin. And then, of course, you can change the CTA text color, background color, fonts, sizes, all that good stuff. So you can kind of customize that. What we also have here is you can show one on win as well. So if they actually win, you can have a nice little the same options are available for this area. But if they win, it will display what that code was. And then put a little button there that you can actually take them off to wherever you need to if you choose to redirect them to a different site, which again works well for the lander type campaigns. Now we also have our triggers. Okay, so what it's going to do is you can add different domains as to where this thing is going to show up. Okay, so right now we have exact match, contains, or a regular expression. So right now, I'm going to show this on any domain that I go to, which I've set up, because you will set up your domains here. That'll be the first thing that you do. I didn't show you that, but you will actually set up kind of the root domain. So whenever that root domain is hit with this in it, so if I say it's google.com/LetSlot, this is going to show up. And I can add multiples of those, okay? So you can kind of control and exclude. So you can really kind of control which pages these pop-ups display on, okay? And you can also do refer URLs as well. Now, there's a couple of different features here as far as behaviors on leave intent after X time on page, X% scroll, click of a button or link, on load of a widget, on click of a floating widget. Okay, so you can set those types of things here. Now, I just have this going on page load. You also get a decision if you want to show it on mobile or not. And of course, those exact same settings are there as well. And you have one last thing where you can show, once per browsing session until visitor closes it, or show once in a certain amount of days until the closer visits it. Okay. So you can also enable your integrations here as well at this point. So depending on what you want to connect, if you have it hooked up to your autoresponder or webinar or whatever it may be. All right, now they do have a little preview here that you can kind of see what it looks like on desktop and mobile. So you can kind of switch back and forth just to make sure it's looking good. So now that we have that, those are all your settings. You're just going to go ahead and save your campaign. Now, what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and open up an incognito here, and we can take a peek at this. App, and we'll go, there we go. Okay, so there it is right there. Now, as I've said, I said if they try to close out before they spin, that we could display that little reminder bar. Well, that's what that little reminder bar is right there. Okay, now I'm just loading this on a white blank page. Obviously, this would go onto a website where there'd be some actual content there, but I'm just showing you on a blank white page. But it has the ability to kind of shrink that down or keep it up. So you always want to give them that chance, okay, I'll spin. Okay, great. And it's going to bring that spinner back up so that reminder is always there. And you can set that to be that bar at the top or the bottom. All right, so now what I'll do is I'm just going to enter in a testing@test.com. I'm going to go ahead and accept, and spin now. Okay, so it's going to do its thing. Let's see if I win, see if I'm a winner. Dope. Okay, so I lost that one. So sorry, maybe better luck next time. That's it. So if you win, this is where your coupon code or whatever value you're displaying there for the user to grab or copy or do whatever you need to do with will display right here if they're a winner. Okay, so I'm just going to close it because obviously I was the big loser there. Now, what I want to do is actually show you the lander. Okay, so that exact same pop-up is going to show up, but okay, I'm just going to leave that there. Let me go to my lander campaigns. Let's see here. Overlay campaigns. All right, so these are some very basic settings that you can set inside of your lander. Okay, so it's basically what page do you want to show underneath? Okay, so what is the page that you're sending them off to? And it could be ESPN, it can be CNN, it can be whatever you want it to be. Okay. You can also put your meta titles in for social shares and meta description for social shares as well, so that when people share it, it will show at least a nice title and a nice description as well as the image. Okay, so you can put your image here as well. And of course, you're going to choose the campaign, that you have. So you can choose your campaign, and you'll choose the domain. As I've said, the white label, you are allowed to use your own domains, but that is on the upgrade. So right now I just have it set to here. This is my custom link. I wanted to show it because I'm not using a whitelisted domain, so I wanted to show this higher level success, and then that with a /higher. All right, so if I go ahead and I just save that, okay, and I'm going to copy my link here, and I'm going to open incognito, and I'm going to load that up in there as well. All right, so you'll see it takes that, and it actually loads right there. Okay, so it's loaded mine. Now I have mine set right away on page load, which is why it popped up so quick. But you can set a delay on that for a couple seconds if you want to wait a few seconds or a minute or whatever it is for it to display. But as you'll see, it is literally has me in this website, and there is my spin. Now I can also do the same thing here, right? I have it set. And I probably want to put a background color on here or make it a little less transparent so it's easier to read. But there it is right there. Okay, so I can do a, let's see here, let's do another tester, test.com, and let's see, maybe I can win something this time. All right. Hey, all right, $20 off. Okay, so now I have my coupon. Okay, so this is where I can do my copying of the coupon and go ahead and claim it, and it will close that down. But that is what a lander is. So that is the initial lander. Now, as I said, there's really two types of landers that are available. There is that type where it's just going to put my pop-up in there like it just did, or a full-page takeover, so that spinner will show up on a full page instead of just a modal. So that is pretty much it. It's pretty simple to set up. You have a lot of different options in there. Very cool. If make sure to check out to our one of our bonuses is actually a training. My partner Carl has a Shopify store that they use these types of campaigns on and had really great success. So he's going to show you exactly how he did that as well. But go ahead and click on, depending where you're viewing this, click the buttons below if you're on our landing bonus page, or if you're watching this on YouTube, I will put the link down into the description. So go ahead and check it out for yourselves. Totally very, very cool. A lot of fun way to gamify your lead generation.